There's a reason Chevy is called the heartbeat of America. The heartbeat's strong, steady, unwavering. Like the people who keep this country moving. Doing what they do best. Helping neighbors, pitching in, getting it done. For them, only America's most dependable truck will do. And every Chevy truck, like every Chevy driver, dependability comes standard.
Hello again, everybody, and welcome back to the Missouri Sports Network, MissouriSportsNetwork.com, where everyone has a home field advantage. And as always, presented by the Bank of Billings, established 1889, the oldest bank in Christian County. We go to Evangel University, and Evangel Valor head football coach Chuck Hepola. Coach Hepola, thanks for your time today.
Thanks, Guy. It's always a pleasure to talk to you and talk about Evangel football.
And we have a rule here at the Missouri Sports Network. In order to become a friend of the show, you have to be on 3 times, and this is your 3rd time. So, Coach, you are officially a friend of the show.
Well, I appreciate that, and yeah. So I guess that makes us friends on both ends then, because I always considered you one as well. So there you go.
Indeed. It does indeed. We get to break bread just about every Monday during the football season at the Springfield Area Quarterback Club down at Bambino's, and I always enjoy getting to visit with you and hear about the Valor.
Yeah, absolutely. Getting a chance to eat at Bambino's, which is a pretty good meal, and we always appreciate you putting that on and being able to get up and talk about really local football here in Southwest Missouri. So it's a lot of fun.
Coach, coming off 8-2 season, an unfortunate complete loss of a game that was a rain out, I believe maybe week 3 or 4 of last year. Just couldn't figure out a way to make that up conference wise. But talk about the team that you've got coming back, what you've had to replace due to graduation or maybe even a transfer. Who are some of the new names that you're bringing in, and who are some that you're replacing?
Yeah, so you talk about the season last year. Our 2 losses were to 2 really good teams, and they were tight losses, and so could have went either way. But was really proud of how our team responded. But we do have we've got 33 players in all 3 phases that are returning, that have either started or played significantly. So really, probably of the 3 phases, offensively, we've got the most guys returning. We've got 3 all-conference running backs that are returning with Eric Williams, Cam Harris, and Kyle Cummings. And then, of course, at the quarterback position, we've got Reed Potts that's returning. And then we've got 2 other quarterbacks that have played. But then we had 2 transfers. We had 2 Division II transfers come in. One really just one from Oklahoma and one here in Missouri. So they'll get a chance to compete for the quarterback position as well. And then up front on offensive line, we've got 3 guys that actually 4, because we've got a young man that started a couple of years for us, but was hurt all last year. So we got 4 guys that are returning up front that have started for us. 2 tight ends that started that are playmakers, and then guys on the receiving core out there as well. Defensive line, really our defensive front. We've got 8 guys really that are really good up front, and so 4 returning starters there. And then our back end safeties and corners got some really good players that are returning from there as well. But at the linebacker position, that's the area that we've got to really replace. We have Bradley Myers, who led the nation in tackles 2 years ago and was second in the nation in tackles last year, was an All-American and Player of the Year in the conference on the defensive side that graduated. But his brother, Zach Myers, returns. That was a 2023 All-American up front on the defensive line. We had 2 interior guys on the defensive line that were true freshmen last year that started. Case and Hatley was one of them, young man from Bixby. So if you know anything about football in Oklahoma, I mean that's an awfully nice football school right there. And so Deacon Peterson, a young man from Coweta, Oklahoma, that played interior, and then Garrett Finley on the edge there, on the defensive line. So those 4 guys really are solid football players. But the linebacker position is what we're going to have to replace there. I did lose 2. 2 All-Americans at the kicker and punter, and so both those guys were excellent players. But now we've got our long snapper, short snapper that's returning. A lot of people don't talk about your long snapper and short snapper, but I can promise you that that's a huge position. And we've got him returning, and Caleb Higginbottom, and so really nice player. And so yeah, we're pleased with what we've got returning. We've just got to stay healthy as of right now. All teams are pretty much healthy for the most part right now. After that first practice, I always tell them that's the best you're ever going to feel all year long, and so just embrace it. And so just looking forward to another season of Evangel football. So this will be my 10th as the head coach. So.
Coach, you talk. I've talked to coaches, high school coaches from around the state here over the past couple of days. We've got about 18 of them that I visited with and interviewed, and they talk a lot about what they did over the summer with regards to 7-on-7s, weights, things like this. What does the summer look like for Evangel Valor football? Are they back at home? Do they have individual workouts, or do you bring them in a couple times a summer?
Yeah, so we have a 10-week cycle that they do in the weight room. We've got guys that are local that'll lift here, guys that do go home because we can't, unfortunately, at our level, we don't scholarship in the summer. So obviously, guys have got to, they either stay here, get a job, and then work out with us, or unfortunately, they go home to be able to save money. And then they'll work out at home. But then they do come here in the summertime for OTAs. So we have basically a 3-day OTA, organized team activities coming together, have team meetings and position meetings and installs and all those things. Because really, at the NAI level, there's a lot of stuff we can do in the summertime and we could actually practice if we wanted, but most teams don't do that. They don't have the budget to do that and so forth. But we do take those 3 days but again, 10-week cycle in the weight room, OTAs, constantly in contact with them, and then they report this Friday, August 8th, and then we're out on the field as quickly as we can get out.
How many practices do you have before that game? I believe at the end of the month you're playing.
Yeah, so we
On August
start on
30th.
our opening game is Saturday, August 30th, and so we report on the 8th. So, and then we start school early here at Evangel this year because of the way the calendar worked this year around the Thanksgiving holidays. For us as a university, and so basically we start school on the 20th. So when we report on the 18th, or I'm sorry, on the 8th, you're only looking at roughly 12 days right there of some sort of fall camp. And yeah, but we'll practice in the morning time. In the afternoon, we either have a walkthrough or they'll lift. And so, really, with the calendar changing, it really doesn't. We don't lose a ton of practices, but there's 1 or 2 practices we'll miss as a result of it. But we've got a pretty good system in place to be able to get them ready for that opening game, and so we just want to get out there and be ready for St. Mary's, who we open with at Leavenworth, Kansas. There in on August 30th.
Now, is that the team you lost due to the rain out last year?
Yeah, yeah, team. So the team that we lost due to the rain, it really wasn't the rain, it was lightning, and so due to the lightning so yeah, looking forward to playing them week 1.
I haven't seen them for 2 years.
I haven't seen them. Saw them, just they were there. We just couldn't get out on the field. So we probably that night would not have been able to start the game until I think it would have been midnight to 1 o'clock in the morning is when we would have been to start the game, and they were concerned about their bus drivers and honestly they had some coaches that were driving a bus. So imagine that you're playing that you're probably not out on you're not leaving until maybe 4 to 5 o'clock in the morning here and then asking somebody to drive whatever the hours are, 3.5, 4 hours, something like that, home. And so had to make a decision that was best for the student athletes, and that's what we did.
And with regards to your coaching staff, you look, you've got 10, 11 guys, on your staff, including your uh, weight trainer, uh, the doctor. Do you kind of retain those guys? Anybody new or filling, or did you replace anybody?
Oh yeah, we'll always. Unfortunately, the way the coaching world works, you're always going to hire 1 or 2 new guys, and but the hires have all basically been here since spring. So they've been here and was the summer as well. So they've been installs and so. But Jeremy DeSoto continues as our defense coordinator. Has done a great job over the years. We traditionally have one of the best defenses in the country, and and then Ryan Strickland is a new hire for me at the offensive coordinator position, but he replaces Cody Wells. The last 2 offense coordinators that I lost both are coaching FBS football right now, and so they've moved up to those levels. And Ryan was working with Cody Wells, who actually knows this offense very well. So when he reported in the spring, I gave him 1 day, and the next day he started. He already knew all the way we communicate, our terminology. He knew how the offense worked, and so basically he got his feet wet for 1 day, probably less than 24 hours, and then he was hard at it. And so So he's new on and then we've hired some other, we've got Clayton Huber that has stepped in, and he is our special teams coordinator. Of course, I'm very heavily involved in special teams, but now that I've moved into the director of athletics role, I needed to be able to have some extra hands in regards to that. And he played for us for a number of years as a graduate of Nixa High School, and so he's done a nice job so far. But outside of that, staff's basically the same for the most part, and got some young men, some young coaches that are new to the staff too that are helping, and so it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun for our group.
Well, with an Uber driver on staff, that's going to help out a little bit. And I believe does he have a relative on the team?
He does. He's got a cousin, on the team, and so yeah, so they were actually teammates, and now Clayton has graduated, and Clayton works some summer camps with me in the summertime. So I've typically have done some summer camps with you probably recognize this name, Coach Heupel. So
Oh, yeah.
now Josh Heupel used to work it years and years ago, but now the NCAA rules he can't anymore. But his dad runs those camps, and I've worked with his dad and Josh for a number of years on camps. And so Clayton came and did that, and did a great job. So I got to see him really in action as a coach, and then now he's helping us as well. So
A year under your belt now with being the director of athletics and the head football coach. Uh, as you look back over this year, what did you learn about yourself and about that position that maybe you weren't expecting?
well, I mean, it's that I did have the capacity for it, and which is difficult. It's I've been in way more meetings than I ever thought in a million years. And so, obviously you already have meetings in football, but now you added those. But it's been a lot of fun working with our coaches. And because, unfortunately, sometimes we get in our own little worlds, and you're in your particular sport, and you only kind of, chat it up sometimes with your coaching staff or that. So just getting to know our coaches a lot better. I felt like I knew them, but getting them know them better. And then just creating processes in place, on the athletic department, kind of like what we do with our football program. And so that's been a lot of fun. Just try to put those puzzle pieces together to make everything run smoothly.
And before I let you go here, give us an update a little bit on the facility. I know you're still playing at Nixa, but I've driven back and looked, and a lot of work being done there at Evangel.
Yeah, we're in, our new AG Financial Arena, and so we moved into our offices last year in July. So we've basically been in this facility for a year, and it's got new locker room, new training room, new weight room, new equipment room, new offices, team room, and all of our offices are office slash meeting rooms. So if you're the receiver coach, it's your office, and then that's also where the receivers meet. And then of course we've got other sports in there as well that on the north side of it, from basketball to volleyball and men's and women's soccer and track. They have offices over here. And then, of course, south of it is our turf field that we practice on, that we play men's and women's soccer games on. And so eventually that'll be an on-campus stadium. And but now surrounding us right now, we've got parking that's going northwest of the AG Financial Arena. They're actually working on the parking literally as we speak. They got some concrete work that they're working on right now between the arena and the football field right now. And then they're building a new dorm and on campus. It's called Flood Dorm, and so named after a family that has been very, very generous to the university, and so they're building that. And then actually just recently they tore down Kendrick, which was our library here on campus. And so we've moved some of the library things to AGTS, which is another building on campus. There's a ton of stuff going on at Evangel, so it's an exciting time. It's a great place to be. And so anybody local that wants to just check out Evangel, swing by, you're always welcome.
Yeah, I took a tour of the new facility, and then last spring, my youngest daughter graduated from nursing school there on campus. So I was
Yeah,
over there and actually walked into a meeting room that I went into the wrong room, and I said, okay, this is not where it's at. But
yep.
no, it's a great facility, and my heart is there. Is a little known fact. I was the very first ball boy for Evangel University when they started playing football. My dad was on that staff with Denny Duran
That's pretty awesome. That's pretty
years
awesome.
ago.
So
And, so near and dear to my heart. But Coach, as always, I greatly appreciate you being generous with your time, not only here with the Missouri Sports Network, but also with the Springfield Area Quarterback Club. I look forward to to seeing you and hearing about the Valor, and it's always great to catch a game, down there at Nixa. That's a nice facility as well, and it seems like you guys draw really well down there.
Yeah, we do, and it's we thank Nixa for allowing us to be able to utilize the facility. And yeah, last year we were number 3 and number 4 in the nation in average and total attendance, and we've been in the top 10 in the nation since we've been here as a staff and head coach. So that's something we're very proud of. And so, can you imagine that? I mean, 3 and 4 in the nation, average of total attendance, and we're driving 30 minutes south of here, and the students are as well. So can you imagine what that's going to like when we have our own campus stadium? What that's going to be like. So we're looking forward to that, and honestly, it's something that's needed on Evangel's campus, and so yeah, get the word out, guy. We can get somebody out there to just donate some money, and we can move this stadium a little faster.
All right. Well, Coach, as always, I greatly appreciate it. Best of luck, and I look forward to catching up with you, and maybe throughout the season we can do this 1 or 2 more times.
Sounds good. I appreciate it, guy.
You bet. You're watching the Missouri Sports Network at MissouriSportsNetwork.com, where everyone has a home field advantage. And as always, the Missouri State Highway Patrol remind us to take that 3 seconds and buckle up. It's 3 seconds that could save your life. Be safe, be smart, and be here tomorrow.
Things are a little tight for Terrence right now. But they won't be for long, because Central Bank makes it easier for customers like Terrence to dream bigger.
More room would be nice.
With mortgage solutions that can open the door to more space.
That's what I'm talking about.
For his growing family.
Growing family?
Honey, guess what?
You got this, buddy.